Fifi Ambanga, Belandeli, and King. You heard what I said? Welcome. My name is King, and today I will be talking to you about titles and kind of family related things. So, your family tree. So, you picture your family tree. How do you say father, mother, grandpa, uncle, whatever, right? So, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before I start, I just want to give you a quick background on like the importance of title. The Bangla people are very, very title obsessed. Like my name will be Dr. Pastor Ankreta Nking. Literally, all my titles. You better say it before you say my name. That's kind of how critical titles are and how serious many people take titles. So it's important to put the proper title on somebody's name when you are calling them because it matters to them. If they have that title, the mentality is I have earned it and I think you should respect it and acknowledge it by saying it. Now everybody is this way, many people are this way. I'm just telling you just so you know and you're mindful when you're talking to someone. So there you go. The first thing that I'm going to teach you is this word called ndo. Ndo. N-D-O-O or N-D-O-H. Ndo basically mean elderly, older person, somebody who's older than you. But they're also not old enough to be your father, your mom, your grandma, and uncles and so forth, and grandma and so forth. So Nda is often the title that you put in front of somebody's name before you say their name. If they're older than you by a couple of years, probably 2, 3 years, you have to put Nda. For example, say like what you are like 16 years old and you wanted to call my name, you will be like Nda King. And that is basically equivalent to auntie and uncle in English because we don't really have a word that translates from one language to another. So from Inwe to English, you lose that meaning of Nda. And that replacement is usually uncle or auntie. And that's why everybody kind of call uncle someone, other people, uncle and auntie, even when they're not related. It's because of that absence of the word that symbolized somebody older than you. People often don't want to use Mr. and Mrs. because that kind of symbolizes a more formal relationship, but the ndal is not like to symbolize like a really formal relationship. It's a relationship of you're older than me, but like I still respect you. So I'm going to put a title to your name before calling your name because you're older than me. And so as you go about learning different things, just be mindful of that. All right, now let's jump into the family tree and talk a little bit about like what you will call the different people in your family. So how do you even say family? If you say family, you will say achanandia. Achanandia basically mean the root of your house. So achanandia is family. Achanandia is my family. Achanandia is tuti. My family is well, pretty much. Man, mwambanga. Mbanga is men. Woman is mendri. Women is mandri. Girl, womandri. Girls, a womandri, basically small ladies. So woman banga will be boys, and youth will be ngwasum. Ngwasum will be youth, and that word is used for both men and women. So it's a group of youth. Ngwasum, youth. Mothers. There are so many words for mom and dad, but there are more words for mom and so forth. So for mom, you say mami, ige, my mom. Oh, reme, basically mom. So again, mom is mami. Oh, ige, reme, basically all those words. People kind of pick and choose what to call their mom. And so some people might go reme, some people might go oh, some people might go mami, and so forth. And a pa, little father, is mb. A pa, papa, a page, my dad. Mbige, my dad. Papage, my dad, pretty much. So that's what that means. Child, moi, child, moi. And then small child or like infant, moi infant, moi grandmother, on D, grandmother, grandfather, apandi, apandi, wife, Indri. So wife, Indri, wives, Mandri, and husband, Ndum, husband, Ndum, Ndunge, my husband. Mother-in-law is Ngamge. Father-in-law, Nsage, Nsage, Nsage Fumu. My father-in-law has come. In the Bamwa culture, we don't have a word for brother and sister. And the mentality behind that is that if we're all brothers and sisters already, we don't have to make that distinction. And so we're just family. And because family is so extensive and it's just not like your immediate family, a lot of people kind of diffuse like distinguishing the differences between like other relatives that are not like close family members such as your sister or brother. And so we don't have a word for cousin, uncle, auntie, and so on. And so if somebody is your auntie, you just kind of call them endo or like mom, you know, and so on. You just put the title in front of your name. So if like they have kids that are your age or older, or they could have kids that are your age or older, and then you will put that mom title in front of your name and then say your name. Say Mami Ason if they're older. And if they're not that old to the point where they can have kids that could be your age or older, and then you can just call them Ndo. So Ndo Ason, right? So that's kind of how it goes. Um, so again, we don't have words for cousins, aunties, and so on. And we also don't have words for like nieces and nephew. And so you would just refer to them like your your siblings' kids. So Owanku Ndoge, Owanku Mwogu. Mwogu is like your younger sibling, Ndoge, older sibling. So one thing you have to really keep in mind is that Mwogu is our younger sibling. Mwoge, it means my kid. So be very attentive to those little differences. It's basically the same concept, but it's just like my versus ours. Ours is like when you're referring to like a sibling, and then the I, like mwage, I, my child, is referring to your own kid if you have a kid. And so be mindful of that. Um, and then somebody who follows you immediately is called inchinjamge, like my the person who follows right behind me. The person who is ahead of you in birth or older than you will be called mbunzoge, mbunzoge. So in front of you. There you go. And then one thing you also have to remember is that regardless of if somebody have kids or not, if they look like they're older, they could be your parent. Regardless, you put a title in front of your name before you say your name, just to be respectful because it matters to people a lot. And one thing that you also have to be mindful is that people have people are given like titles like from the king. And so those titles might be like, this is Nkam, this is Mafwa, and those are kind of like advisor or like title based on people's specialties or like special relationship that they have with the community. And so when people are given that title, they usually inherit it and then you add it to their name. So ma foi Asong will be like that's that's the title that the person got given. And then and in front of them you put that in front of your name, you put that title, and then behind your name, and then you put your name after that. So it'll be ma foi Asong. Just an example, right? And then if somebody was named Income whatever, and then you do the same Income Asong, and then you put um your name after that. When people are given like chieftaincy titles, oftentimes there's really not a consensus on how to like incorporate the title um within like the titles that they already have. So say that an older person, the parent, you will say a pass. It's a pretend this is a guy, right? So you say a pa a son. But what if they become a chief? Do you then say a pa and come a son, or do you say and come a son? Because the income has to be there because they don't want you to not say their title because that's important to them. That's one thing that I'm really not sure. I've kind of seen people do both, and oftentimes I would just see people just saying "come as home," and then some people will go "pan come as home." It just kind of depends, and I don't think there's a consensus. And so, like, if you're ever in doubt, just talk to the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're ever like interacting with someone and you're like, "Ooh, awkward," not sure what to say, like, go to them and be like, hey, what would you prefer? I don't care about titles. Like, most of my nieces and nephews just call me by my name, and then that's fine with me. That's not a big deal. But to somebody else, that's a big deal. So you kind of have to respect them for what it is. And the goal is trying to kind of move through the culture and interact and be able to get what you want to get accomplished. So there you go. Thank you. Again, well, it's Emma Ollie. Basically, see you another day, and I'll be back with more lessons. If you have something that you want me to talk about or any lesson you want me to go over, please let me know. I'm here to help, and I want you to be successful. Thank you again. My name is Madam King. Please do not forget to subscribe and follow and so forth.